Labour's woes deepened today after Sir David Garron, who has donated around £1.5 million since 2003, announced he had left the party over the escalating issue that has engulfed it over recent days. Mr Garron, who has funded Labour under 3 different leaders before Mr Corbyn took charge in 2015, claimed its leadership had, in effect, supported and endorsed acts of anti-Semitism. Speaking to The Observer, the former donor said, "I have watched with dismay and foreboding the manner in which the leadership has, in my view, over the last 2 years, conducted itself. I consider that it has supported and endorsed the most blatant acts of anti-Semitism, and yet it has failed to expel many of those who have engaged in the grossest derogatory fantasies about Jewish, Zionist conspiracies, and Jewish characterizations and accusations which conjure up the very kind of anti-Semitic attacks that led to such unbearable consequences for innocent millions in the past." Getty. Jeremy Corbyn's leadership has been criticized as the anti-Semitism row escalates in response to Mr Garron's remarks, a Labour spokesman said, as Jeremy said in his email to all members this week, "Our party is at its best when we work together, uniting people in hope and against fear and division." Jeremy has made it clear that anti-Semitism in all its forms has absolutely no place in our party, and he is committed to rooting it out. The latest development comes after the Sunday Times today claimed 12 senior staff working for the Labour leader and Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell were members of social media groups containing anti-Semitic and violent comments. Following an investigation, it found that 20 of the biggest groups supporting Mr Corbyn, totaling around 400,000 members, had launched frequent attacks on Jewish people, including remarks about the Holocaust. The report said through working with whistleblowers who were able to gain access to the restricted membership groups, it had uncovered more than 2,000 racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic, violent and abusive messages. The investigation concluded that many of the staff concerned were either no longer active on Facebook or were unaware they were members of these and had not seen the content that was being highlighted. A Labour spokesman said, "These groups are not run by the Labour Party or officially connected to the party in any way. The Labour Party is committed to challenging and campaigning against anti-Semitism in all its forms. Any complaints of anti-Semitism are taken extremely seriously. These are fully investigated in line with our rules and procedures and any appropriate disciplinary action taken." According to The Observer, Labour has more than 70 cases of alleged anti-Semitism and is yet to deal with high-profile instances such as that of former London Mayor Ken Livingstone, who was suspended for saying that Hitler supported Zionism, before he went mad and ended up killing 6 million Jews. Protesters held placards to demonstrate in Parliament Square against anti-Semitism in Labour. The latest attacks come after a senior Labour official at the centre of an anti-Semitism row resigned from the party's governing body last night. Christine Shawcroft, a left-wing supporter of Mr Corbyn, said she was stepping down, with immediate effect, from the National Executive Committee. Ms Shawcroft had already resigned as chairman of the disputes panel and had been under pressure to quit her post on the NEC after it emerged she opposed the suspension of a council candidate accused of Holocaust denial. She sparked further anger with a Facebook posting, later removed, claiming the anti-Semitism row was being stirred up to attack Jeremy. As we all know, Ms Shawcroft is expected to be replaced by Eddie Izzard, who narrowly missed out in an election in January.